Quicker than a railway, moves like we hurt on the decks. Glover hold the court and give the chief no suspect. Politics in the mix, like double Stuart Rich. Spinning tales from Black Wall Street, real life's the pitch. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. Donnie Glover Show, be more news.
Welcome to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. How you doing, man?
Man, feeling well, man.
What's your name?
My name is Cardi Cornish.
And you a legend?
I'm a legend.
You're a legend here in Baltimore City. Where we at right now?
We live in the 17, Pennsylvania Avenue. The legendary Pennsylvania Avenue.
Man, the last time I saw you here, you were doing something just across the street here. What were you doing?
Oh, yeah, I had some food left over from an event. We brung it out and fed a couple of people, man.
Why you do that?
Nice soul food.
Why you do that?
Man, the love that God has shown me in Christ, man, it overflows. That's how it overflows.
That's right.
We got more than we can use. We got more than we can handle ourselves. We try to let it flow. Let it flow to the next person.
Yeah. We're proud of you, man.
Thank you.
And we're proud of your son.
Thank you.
You're watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.
Business six hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse, dropping wisdom like Hova. Each word a joke. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Donnie the narrator, truth runs in veins. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. Donnie Glover Show, be more news.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. Listen, you're not ready for this show. You're not ready for what you are about to get. As a matter of fact, we should charge you admission for today's show. That's how much smack we are talking today. We're coming to you with some content that you won't find anywhere in the world. And let me just say, I'm a baseball guy. Love basketball, but I play baseball better. But I seem to love basketball more because we had a court right in front of the house. But nonetheless, I'm delaying. Let's get straight to the jugular. What is the greatest high school on the planet?
Baltimore, Paul Lawrence, Dunbar.
That's right.
Number one back then, and we still number one now. Taking a few hits as far as basketball, but football, we keeping it rolling. But we still number one.
Well, I'm glad you said that because Friday night, I had a chance to hang out with, before I got to Dunbar, I was at Poly. So they had the Poly guys had a get together Friday night up on Ricerstown Road. And I saw people that I hadn't seen since high school. See, that's 83. Oh, wow. I'm telling my years, 25, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, one, I can't believe half of us made it.
That's right. But
then after you make it, you
That's
think
right.
about all of the people who are dead, people locked up, people OD'd, or people just died.
Right.
But you done did it 10 years longer than me.
Yeah.
What's your story? What's your name, sir?
My name is Timmy Greene. I came out of Dunbar High, the class of 73. Just turned 70 last month. And I just stay prayed up, try to stay out what I think is the wrong places, and just try to be who I've been all these years to not only myself, to people that I've been surrounded by. And I've been surrounded by a lot of great people, and that come from give them their respect. My mom and dad, we had that family, and during that time coming up, the 60s, 70s, we had families, we had parents. We didn't have mothers and fathers. We had parents, and parents that instilled, that not only, take care of one another and love one another, but we had the respect of our neighbors who were parents to us as well. And if you let your guard down before you got back home that evening or that night, that phone call was made, and some of them corrected you on the spot and would tell you, go tell your mother, go tell your father. But I'm going to handle this. Whereas, today, if you tried that, not only would you be incarcerated, but Donnie, you put your life on the line just to try to steer a kid the right way. And the girl's just as bad as the guys. So, I'm just glad I came up during the time and the era that I did. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I just wish some of these younger generations could learn the story and history of not just about sports, but about life, period. Because we had the elders to teach us that stuff. We had the whomever, that you didn't have a thought that they were who they were until you find out, oh, that's Donnie Glover. That's so-and-so. You heard the name, but you couldn't put the face with the name until eventually one day it all came together. And that really helped raise me to where I'm at today. Not only because I had 3 big brothers, man. And if I stepped out of line, they put me back in line, and I had a dad that was 6'5", 240. And being a baby, I know I might have gotten a few things, but I didn't want none of that, Donnie. So I'm blessed to not only still be here.
Did your dad work down the steel yard?
No, my dad was a long distance chauffeur for Allied Van Line, and it cost him a period of he was paralyzed because he used to haul furniture on his back. Some trips he took, he was by himself, and they wound up had to take a piece out of his neck because of that, hauling stuff that he had no business hauling. Should have had helpers. He was paralyzed for about 2 years. He learned to walk again, and if it wasn't for one of my mother's, they had a revival. And I never will forget this lady. She was an evangelist from Chicago, Evangelist Poole. She prayed for him and put a handkerchief in his wallet. My dad got up out that bed out Fort Howard, started walking, didn't stop until 1978 when he left us. So he, when people say prayer, believe in it, you better believe in it because prayer does work. But no, I was probably one of few during the group of guys that I grew up with that parent didn't work down, Bethlehem Steel. I wound up working down Armco Steel for about 8.5 years. And Eastern Stainless Steel, they was the only 3 steel mills around back then. And like I said, we were probably the only ones that parent didn't work down Bethlehem Steel.
Where did you grow up, Mr. Greene?
I was born in the 1700 block of East Preston Street, and we were moving up to the 2700 block of Biddle in Kenwood. I was 7 months old. My hero, which is my 3rd oldest brother, he's still there on that corner after 69 years, So he still have the home there, and neighborhood, of course, have changed. It's not the same. All of the warriors practically then died off. some of the kids kept their homes. The rest of them, they just, didn't want them. And Biddle and Kenwood, people ask me where you from. That's where I tell them. I'm from Biddle and Kenwood, man.
Okay.
Better known as Biddle Boulevard. That 2700 block is Biddle Boulevard. The rest of it is Biddle Street. But 2700 block is Boulevard.
You got no argument here. 1968, Dr. King got killed. My daddy had that funeral home, as I was telling you, at Patterson Park in Landville.
Right.
I remember the National Guard being on the front. I remember tanks coming up North Avenue. And more than anything, I remember even at 3 years old, there being a certain vibe in the air that a 3-year-old kid could tell something ain't right.
Well, we had Leveson and Klein warehouse in the next block, the 2800 block. They took that whole even side. I lived at 2745. That from Kenwood to Linwood was all Leveson and Klein. The warehouse is still there, but John Hopkins, I believe, still have the rights to that building. And people were breaking in Leveson and Klein because, the furniture, the TVs, and so forth. And I remember that day very well. That was a Saturday when he got assassinated, taken away from us. And I know he's turning over in his grave right now, seeing how we didn't went, not 360, 720 backwards into what he instilled and would have. I honestly believe we wouldn't be where we at today hurting one another if he was still around. I honestly believe that, but that was a Saturday. And I remember, we had to stay in the house, National Guards coming up and down Biddle with them big trucks, people breaking in, police come, beat a couple people with the billy clubs. And they didn't take those TVs back inside the building. They put them in back of their cars, the police cars. I witnessed this myself. And, it was terrible, man, for a while. You know what I mean? That curfew, if your dad was out, and, I had strict parents. No, you ain't going out there. You sit out on the porch, you go out on the porch, but you ain't leaving that steps. And I didn't leave them steps. And I was 13 years old then, man.
You had to mark the front of your house with a red flag, a red.
No, we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do none of that. But the neighborhood stores, we had an A&P around there on Milton Avenue, Milton and Huffman, and a 5 and Dime store and a movie theater. A lot of people don't even know that and live around there. They burnt that out, the 5 and Dime. Of course, they couldn't do much with the movie there. We had neighborhood stores on Chase and Lakewood. We had a store. It was a black store. That was a Jewish store on Lakewood and Chase. But down on Luzerne and Chase, lady Miss Marie. Now we'll forget her. Very nice lady. Her and her husband. They didn't touch her store. But if you were, of the other descent, your store was gone, man. And the store on Lakewood Hearts never came back. It's a house now, Right after that, they never rebuilt. They never came back. And 5 and Dime left. A&P went up there to where Pastor P.M. Smith has that building on Edison Highway, right where Eastern District is. That was the A&P after they moved them off of Milton Avenue.
Well, tell me about that Super Pride. I remember that Super Pride went up around 69 or so, 70.
Yeah, down on Patterson Park and Chase. That was, matter of fact, they used to have a baseball league. It was Super Pride. They had a baseball league, and I played with the neighborhood guys. Mr. Scott, great man, rest in peace. He had a neighborhood team called the Hustlers, Then I played with Mr. Dean. I believe he's deceased too. Rest in peace. He had a team in the Browns League. And that was when Browns had the store up on Washington Street. And Super Pride, the Smiths, Oscar and God darn, I don't know whether his brother's still living. I know God damn, one of them passed away. Steve passed away. Well, they were running Super Pride all the way up until to the end, which they expanded, over to West Baltimore. And that was a store that, everybody could, go down. You knew neighbor, because back then traveling out your neighborhood, Donnie, was a little tough at times, man.
Oh, it's dangerous.
If you went down to Printer's Place, you better know somebody in Printer's Place. You just walk, you weren't gonna walk through there or cut like. After I got to know people, I would cut through there to hit Colleton on my way down to Monument Street, walking down to, back then, it was still, it was Old Town Mall by then. But of course, to us, it was our downtown Gay Street, And you travel even further up, going towards Preston, you had different sectors of our community that, you just couldn't travel like that, man.
What do you think when you see non-Black people copping drugs in the Black community today? Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, yes and no, because I when I go over and see my brother, I just go straight to Biddle. I used to stop off at people who parents are still around, to say hi to them, see how they doing. But it's still there, it's I'm glad I grew up in the hood. The hood will teach you, life. It's going to teach you death as well, And some of the guys that, of course, that I come up around, they no longer here, whether it was, because of the drugs or just illnesses that have taken them away. But I used to say, man, I would never do what these guys are doing. And, I fell prey just like, some of the rest of us have. And I'm not ashamed to even say it, I was a product of the hood. I wasn't a leader, Donnie. I was a follower. It almost cost me my life. Almost cost me incarceration. But God told me to go up to Fort Worthington, 85 that night. And I did. That saved me from incarceration, man. And I thank God every day that, he led me to go someplace where I should have been. I needed to. I should have been. Because, as you know, we come up on the wrecks, man. We come up, whether it was indoor or outdoor. That saved a lot of lives back then, a lot of incarcerations, And I witnessed to that too. And
what was your wreck?
Well, we had 85. Then we had Bocheck. But my learning of life and playing basketball was down the almighty Luzerne playground. Not no what they call it, Golden Gates or Goldilocks. That's because, again, they don't know shit from shampoo, these young guys. That's Luzerne playground. And anybody that come up during our era would tell you, Luzerne playground. If you couldn't play, you didn't come around Luzerne playground. You can go to Bocheck, you can go to 85. But Luzerne playground? Nah. And
what is the difference between basketball in East Baltimore and basketball in West Baltimore? And I'm going to put it out there. Is it the work ethic?
Well, Donnie, I'm being honest with this. I try not to get caught up into that East-West because there was great ball players in all sectors of the city.
Madison they got a dynasty. Them people that played over the dome, there's a dynasty. Like in Egypt, you got them pharaohs on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about Baltimore basketball. Them legends come from East Baltimore, man.
Yeah,
the story they tell about your team, they can't tell nowhere else in the city. You can be modest, but you can let your hair down today, though.
Donnie, I'm always going to be modest, man. I love, both South Baltimore. Don't leave them out. I love every last ball player that laced up a pair of sneakers and put on shorts back then. We we had something special. We had special guys, man. Guys that took it to heart. I mean, to lose, that was tough, man. And you didn't want to lose because of, who you were and what was on your chest. And I'm just talking about just rec ball. I ain't talking about high school ball yet. Rec ball, again, there was some tough guys on all sides of the city. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, man, East was better than West. Oh, maybe so. But I'm never going to be a person that's going to not give the next person they just do.
Okay,
I've always been like that.
You're being polite. I watched the team that came 10 years after you, and I saw the way they trained. I was over in the wrestling part with Anthony Dunaway.
Yeah,
but you couldn't be in the wrestling room and not see how the poets practice. Mm-hmm. It wasn't regular. I don't know what regular was because I never saw regular. I saw cats doing jumping jacks with bricks in their hand, running a figure 8, and Coach Wade giving the orders. I saw order. Everybody knew their role. And I'm gonna tell you this, Mr. Greene, don't laugh at me. When I left Poly to go to Dunbar, I had no idea about the basketball. Not even the football. I just knew I needed to get the hell out of Poly because I had to go to summer school. Algebra 2, trig, and physics. And the girls wasn't all that friendly.
So where did you grow up at, Donnie?
East and West. By the time I got to Dunbar, we were back at my mama's house at Easterwood Park. You know about Easterwood?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they had a lot of ball players up there. The Wildses, the Smiths. You had two female great athletes, Bonita Bush and the great Gert Scott. I think. Oh no, Easterwood. You said Easterwood.
Yeah,
Easterwood.
You told West High School.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
But similarly, I got a chance to see life unfold. And but as I look back and I mentioned the 60s, and you would know better than me, I think that's when the heroin and the cocaine started flooding the Black community. Vietnam had just happened. A lot of them cats picked up habits in Vietnam. And then you come home, you got Dr. King, you got the riots, you got the war, you got Baltimore segregation, all of that stuff happening at one time. But that's when they dropped off the dope and the coke.
Well, I'm going to say this. Cocaine, that wasn't an issue back then during the 60s because you had to have money to buy cocaine. We didn't have money like that to buy cocaine. Now, heroin, the dollar pills was out. $1 for a pill. And they were getting people high as a kite. Then, it started going into, the bags. But the dollar pill, I didn't start noticing until I was in the, I think 8th going to the 9th, which would have put around 68, 69. and those dollar pills was out. And I used to see the guys, because, they had other pills, Christmas trees, yellow jacket, red devils. But the dollar pills had the heroin in there more. And, a lot of people was ODing, back then. And the thing was, if you OD, especially if you in somebody's house, man, they was putting you out in the alley, bruh. They was putting you out there to die. Not to try to, well, they would first try to, put the ice in the water on you. But if you weren't coming through, you was out in the alley. I knew several people. I helped save my ex-brother-in-law. He was they had him right across the alley from me on the even side of Biddle in the back of Mirror Street. I had to, rush water, ice to help revive him, man. Yeah.
Yeah, drugs did a number on our community. And then
oh yeah, no question.
And after the cocaine, then they flood the 80s. That's when I saw it. I was coming of age. I saw that crack cocaine hit, and it wreaked havoc. If heroin and cocaine did a whammy on us, that Ready Rock just took it to a whole other level. It was like the cocaine on steroids.
Yeah,
because like you said, monetarily, you could buy crack for under $5 at some places. A good addict gonna get it for $4 or $2 for $5.
And see, back then, speed, they was calling it speedballing before how Richard Pryor and them was cooking their stuff. They was speedballing. They was mixing cocaine with heroin. But most of the guys, and surprisingly, I didn't see a lot of women, but I know it was women, but not like how it is today, because they had pride about themselves. You didn't see women out there chasing back during my time, and I ventured to the left, and I didn't see none, or the few that was out there when I was out there. And to see them today, man, it hurts your heart, man, to see somebody's mom out there doing what they doing just to do what they want to do, which is get high. And I don't knock nobody because, like I said, I was there. And when I point, the thumb comes back to me. I'll never knock nobody who ventured, as I say, to the left, even to the right, but wasn't walking straight. And I commend all of the guys, and I know quite a few, and I tell them today, 2025, man, I commend you because you didn't fall prey like the rest of us.
Well, I commend you, Mr. Greene. I just want to know, back in 1973, like in 83, that was the year I came out, Bugs, Reggie. Damn the basketball. I wanted that jacket that these dudes had. They had the prettiest jacket on earth. It was the pretty jacket, but you could only get it if you was a ball player. They came out with this little imitation jacket that if you went to school, you could pay. It was not. Where did they get that jacket? Oh man, Bob Wade had them cats in this pristine jacket.
Well,
and they got the match.
They got way more stuff than what we ever would have gotten back then. Donnie, we was wearing uniforms back from the 50s and the 60s, man.
What kind of tennis shoes?
Between Converses and Pro Kids. But remember, Converse was top of the line back then.
Till I went through the side of a pair, I'm running up court. I went straight on through it.
Yeah, well, you know, for me coming up, and I had, like I said, 3 older brothers, 2 of them, and I think the Delevers might be the other one. We are 3 sets of generations that played basketball down Dunbar. My oldest brother was on the first championship team of '59. My second oldest brother played with, he was on the team with Dick Kelly and them in '66.
Who was Dick Kelly?
James Kelly?
Yeah.
Product of 85, but most definitely Luzerne Playground. And of course, Dick traveled all over, though. You know, he played all over, man. And I used to see him down Luzerne, but didn't really know him like that until, of course, my brother played with him. And then when they beat Carver down the Civic Center in 63, 64, something like that. They beat Carver down the Civic Center. All they kept saying, and as soon as I see him, I said, "Dad, that's my man from around Luzerne." And then they said James Kelly. Then I heard, people hollering Dickie. I said, "God damn, that is Dickie Kelly," And man.
Well, that's how people feel when they meet you, man.
No, I ain't famous like them guys.
Yes,
man.
you are, man.
I'm just, hey, look, Donnie, I'm just a part and piece of the puzzle, bro.
No. All that humility stuff, that's nice. But you're on the Donnie Glover Show. I saw you in action on Saturday, and it was way beyond basketball.
See, people that don't really understand what One Baltimore consists of is bringing people together to pull and make Baltimore better. And their first thing that they'll say, "Oh, that's the, how they say it, that's the Legends. That's the basketball fraternity." No, it's not. People come out there, Donnie, never even put a ball in their hand. Well, it was football, baseball, basketball. So we're going to get that straight, that One Baltimore consists of those who, number one, has done stuff in the community. If they shared sports as part of their upbringing and, being known for it, that's all well and good. We have kids that's a part of One Baltimore. When you come out to an event that we do, you are now a member of One Baltimore. We don't discriminate. We have women, kids, white, black, you name it. We One Baltimore, because when it first got started, and Jimmy Conyers, who won't take claim for this, when Donnie Joy's son got killed back in 2003, we were, as I was telling you, we was at Von Greene up there on Emerson Avenue. And it was 4 of us. And he said, "Why don't we get together instead of when, people laying down? So why don't we get together and do dinner?" No, it was breakfast. We didn't get started until 2 years later. 2 years later, we started out with 6 people. I know it was Conyers, Donnie, rest in peace, Huggy. Never knew Huggy's real name. He passed away. Larry Johnson, known as Sookie. And there was one more other person and myself. Can't remember that other person, but it was 6 of us. I went in the phone, Donnie, and I was calling everybody from A to Z to come out to be a part of what we doing. We was going to name it Sookie, was saying we ought to name it the Breakfast Club. I like that title. But before we got to the naming, Donnie, when I was inviting people, there we go with that's an East Baltimore Dunbar thing. That pissed me off, bro. Because we're trying to bring people together. We can't help being a poet, and you know it for life, that we stick together. If there's a crisis, we're going to stick together. We there. So-and-so, what do you need? That's when the One Baltimore term came up. And the person who thought of this, getting us together like this, is from West Baltimore. Put it out there. from West Baltimore, Jimmy Conyers. He was the one, that was his idea. All I did was take it further by calling people. I was calling these people by myself. By myself, Donnie. Then it got overwhelming and I asked for help. And we rose where we had Cactus Willie. We had a room to ourselves from 6 o'clock. Mr. Howard, rest in peace.
Leon Howard Wade.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I miss him, man. And sometimes get the tears behind him because that was a good man, man.
He ran your rec?
Huh?
He ran your rec?
I played for them. I played with Madison, 15 and under. And we played against, first it was just Skip. Then they went and got, and I miss him too, Larry Gibson. Rest in peace too. They went and got Larry Gibson and we didn't beat them another time. We beat skipping them the first time. We lost them every time after that.
You were playing for Bocek?
No, I was playing with Madison, Coach William Wells.
Well, who was skipping Larry Gibson playing for?
That was Lafayette, LA Courts. And the next year, I was supposed to be going up to 18 and under, but Coach Wells never called me. And Mr. Howard asked Duke Richardson, what was I doing? And he said, nothing. So go get him. And he called me, and I was with Lafayette until I couldn't play no more, man. And that was home. That was home for me. And they accepted me, a person from up off the hill, top of the hill, coming down the bottom, playing with them guys. And they're like brothers up until we losing, slowly. Like I said, Larry passed away.
So you played for Lafayette?
Yes. I played Lafayette 18 and under for 2 years. And we were champions both years.
Man, let's see, you just wear this champion thing too easy. Hold up. How many people got cut making Lafayette team? Did 50 people go out and only 25 made it?
No.
You don't know because you always made it.
Well, it wasn't a lot of people. Some people Mr. Howard asked to come to play with us, which would have really helped us because the first year we went up to Boston, Coca-Cola used to have a national tournament for BNBL. Well, it wasn't BNBL as far as the nationals, but it was national as far as Coca-Cola. And we went up Boston with Larry Gibson being the tallest. At that time, Larry was only 6'7". And we played against guys that went to the pros that year. I mean, not that particular year, but eventually got drafted into the pros. And it was only Larry, Donnie Joy, myself up front because Duke Richardson was too old and Billy Snowden always played up. And he would have been too old to play. And if we'd have had both of them or one or the other, we finished in 4th place, Donnie. And we played up in Boston at Boston University. New York, but they didn't play, had Fly Williams, Larry Fogel, they wound up going to college and of course played in the ABA. Detroit had 1, 2, 3, 4. They had 4 6'10s, 6 8s, and their guards was like, one of them was shorter than the other. One of them was like 6'4". We lost to Detroit by 9 points in the semifinal. They beat Dantley and them from DC by 20. And we didn't even have a real bench. Sandy Johnson, he another one, rest in peace, miss him, love him dearly. He had minor surgery. Lil Marvin was Muggsy height. So we basically played with 5 guys, man. And we finished in 4th place with Coliani, Charles Coliani, whatever his name was the director of Bureau of Recreation, would not allow us to add people on. Like, when you go to this AAU, they add no on players, man. He wouldn't allow us to do that. If he would allow us, Mr. Howard was trying to get either Ronald Smith or Rasul, Pat McKinley, to go with us up to Boston. And the next year, that's when Skip had his toe cut off. We played DC. Again, that was right after, the Dunbar DeMatha. And we lost to DC out Morgan. I forgot by how many points, but Donnie, I fouled out in the 3rd quarter, man. I let Dantley get the best of me. Because when you hit me with a bow, Donnie, I'm going to hit you with one back, bro. That's just how I was. And I let him do that. He'll push you. I push him back. Of course, I'm going to get called each time. Retaliation. Instead of using my head. And we were in the game before I fouled out. After that, Dantley and Kenny Carr, people were saying, well, if Kenny Carr had played, it would have been a different story. Well, check this out, Donnie. Number one, Kenny Carr didn't play. And if he had played, it would have been the same difference. I don't even think an NBA team could have beat us that day. Because I had 15 guys, man, that was destined to win. We had Baltimore on our backs, but didn't even know it. So these guys that has made it, and I'm going to put it out there, that has made it, and they know who y'all are, all we ask for help with our one Baltimore for us keeping this thing going, hoping that some of them young guys would come out there to see what we're doing and take it and help save some of these kids, to let them know you can be an old dude, but you can also be respectful and still show that love to one another.
Well, let me tell you, I saw on Saturday. Now normally, again, I didn't know about Dunbar's legacy, and I'm catching up on a lot of history thanks to people like Tiger Davis, Nathaniel McFadden. And I don't mean basketball history of Dunbar, of scientists, of inventors, of nurses, teachers, people who change lives. But on Saturday, I watched Kosher. Kosher's like you, humble, modest. He don't let none of that go to his head. What happened, the victories in the past. But I watched Kosher. Amazed. I watched Stu Smith Saturday. Amazed. Who the hell is JoJo Parker?
Mm-hmm.
They were blown away. I was watching them blown away too. It's so much history we don't know nothing about.
And that's what, as we were talking yesterday, Mr. Cleve Brisker, I know his health hasn't been great, but he needs, before, like he always say, before they throw the dirt on me, he needs to tell his history, man, because so many people are unaware of some of the, I'm talking about real, not just athletes, but people that we didn't even know. And I still, like, I listen, man. I pay attention and I listen. If I don't know something, I'll call a Mr. Cleve Brisker, who knows, and a Dr. Heyman, who knows. Because
Dr. Warren Heyman.
Dr. Warren Heyman.
Dr. Warren Heyman is not even a poet, is he?
You know what? When I first started going to the alumni meetings,
You swore he was a poet.
man, you would have been fighting. I
He's
just
not a
knew he
poet.
was.
Blew
And
my
when,
mind too. I went to
when
school
they
with his
told
daughter.
and they told me that, I said, Doc, tell me
He
something.
loves Dunbar that much.
And where we got poets that are supposed to be poets, won't even come back to give back, man. Won't come back to give back.
That's because they lost their way. But
Well,
Saturday, I found my way there, and I wasn't gonna miss it for the world. I had heard about this cookout, and you know, it's a funny thing. 1 or 2 years, if I came out 83 and somebody came out 82, 1 year is like a whole lifetime, because you know people that the people 1 year behind you, 1 year, you don't know none of them people.
right.
And that's what Saturday was, a coming together. It was like putting everybody in the blender. You think you great. I say, Kosher, you the legend. How does it feel to see these legends? He say, Donnie, they more legend than me. The humility. That's what you and Kosher got. The humility. Muggs. As Muggs as he can be, humility. And hard work. I heard y'all would play all day, go home and eat dinner, and go back to the court.
Well, I wasn't down there with those guys, but you know, I can echo that around Luzerne Playground. Go out there starting early in the morning, like now, or a little bit before now, and play. Because see, that used to be a recreation center. People don't even know that. It used to be a recreation center. They had a little house. And it was a guy named Captain Smith, who was a guard over the jail, used to run Luzerne Playground. People like Gus Johnson, Cy Greene from the Bullets, and a few more other used to come around Luzerne Playground.
Who was Gus
play.
Johnson, man? I'm going to put it out there. You told this story yesterday about Gus Johnson. Who was Gus?
And Gus was Baltimore's first basketball superstar before Earl came. Of course, Earl, you know, Earl Monroe took over after that.
Earl of Pearl.
Gus Honeycomb Johnson used to come around Luzerne and up Cloverdale. And these was pros. That was our Rutgers. Luzerne and Cloverdale. Back during them 50s and 60s. And Gus used to come around. The one time I would have caught him, Donnie, I seen him walking up the alley. They had already played, but my third oldest brother, they played against him, you know, and we had a guy around there, and a lot of people know him. A lot of people was unaware, named Slim Benny. He was the first Magic Johnson before Magic Johnson. Benny was like 6'5", but like this. Never went to high school. And I'm telling you, Donnie, could dribble behind his back, between his legs, could do a mellow lock lemon, be on one end of the court, throw the ball behind his back, and make a basket like that. Shoot left hand and right hand. Never went to high school. And if he had her, he would have went somewhere. I seen my brother, who I said is my hero, my brother, Herb Dickey, rest in peace, because Benny passed away, rest in peace. My brother, Herb Dickey, and Hansy Moore, who prayed for him because he's sick, but he's still fighting. That East Baltimore pride, still fighting through COVID and through cancer. He would have been out there Saturday. That's why he was on it. And he deserved it. They were the only three. Well, of course, Dick Kelly, but, you know, that was two different. You know, Dick was more of a god, but trying to play Benny, they was the only three that could give him a little competition. I ain't say stop him, because you couldn't stop him. He'd shoot left hand or right hand. You know, he was that good, man. And a lot of people that know him, they still ask, man, where's Slim Benny? Or, man, Slim Benny, he was like that, man, but never went to school.
What's your message to the young people?
I want to say, number one, respect one another, man. Respect one another. We the only race that do what we do against one another for no cause or purpose.
And put it to music too.
Huh?
We put it to music too, calling each other bees.
Yeah. On all of these, you know, with the guns and all of that. If you was that tough, you would put your hands up. If you was that tough, I would say to America, since, you know, we have let society be what it is, don't incarcerate them. Take them guys and girls from out of the military, put them in there. Let them go over Iraq, Iran. All them charges you got, if you survive and make it back, we'll sponge your record. But America would never do nothing like that. And we still so numb and dumb to the fact we've been prejudged and prejudice is still against us. If that's the case, you want to kill something, kill one of them. They still killing us. And when we still killing us, what are they saying? Well, shit, we ain't got to kill them. They gonna kill themselves off anyway. And listen to what people that you know have been around. Respect what they saying, because at some point you're going to get old one day and you're going to be asked different things, or you're going to want to see things change in a way that's changing for everybody. We shouldn't have to walk every day with a swivel on our head, looking around like we the exorcists, you know, or get a gun permit. And the minute that you and I use it, not only they gonna lock us up, but they gonna want to give you and I time where they slap Pookie and Mookie going out there and rob, you know, Miss Jones, Mr. Smith, or whoever, because they know that they're gonna do it with no consequence. But let one of their loved ones down there in Annapolis, up in the White House, let a lot of their loved ones get killed off. Or I hate to say it, but if white people got killed the way that we killing one another, the laws have changed, Donnie. They changed so quick that you never know that it was a law. It'll change, but as long as we keep doing the dumb things that we continue to do, it's not gonna matter, bro.
What's the message from Saturday? What is the overarching message from Saturday's event?
That we can get together without any foolishness, because we don't have no foolishness, because we have real men and women come out there. They want this. And this is without income coming in, Donnie. After 14 years. And it's a shame it's like that. And I go back to the people that has made it. They won't come to see what we doing, because y'all made it on the backs of the guys that helped us in 1973. Because they cracked the door, we opened it wide up. You guys wouldn't even had scholarships or would have been in the pros. A lot of them don't understand that. And
Big brother, I learned the story of Kurt Flood. When I learned the story of what Kurt Flood did and what he sacrificed for free agency to come about in baseball, then in football, and the doors that he opened. I mean, he was one of the best players in the league, Kurt Flood, St. Louis Cardinals. And he became a derelict, drinking a lot of sauce, hanging out in Europe. But he still fought against American baseball. He sued American baseball. They say you can't do that.
Right.
He sued American baseball. He said, when you trade me, he felt like a slave. Mm-hmm. So He stood up, and next thing you know, they brought in free agency.
Yeah, but he was
He
gone,
wasn't
basically.
one.
Yeah, man. So I just hope, with Saturday, for the first timers like yourself, even Mr. Parker, and there's a few other people that was their first time. And the words always
gave out awards, man. What was the award? I was like, oh, they got awards here. How you get one of them awards?
Well, this was something that one of the guys, this wasn't coming from One Baltimore, but we named it the One Baltimore, award.
And it was a little short guy giving away the awards. I've seen him before.
That's Harry Chappelle. Harry Chappelle, he does our shirts. And well, he does not only our shirts, he does any high school, anything that you want done.
Did he play ball? Chappelle.
Yeah, he was on the 80 team. I think it was the 79 or the 80 team, one of those 2 years.
He's a poet.
Yeah, through and through. Maroon and gold. Between him and Greg, you can get whatever you need. Because either one of them gonna fit you up.
Well, Greg Branch is Mr. Dunbar. Long before I got a chance to meet some of the greats, Greg Branch and Derek Jones,
DJ.
They have made it their business to do just what you do. They should get the Timmy Greene Award, because now that I've met you, I can tell you I know where they got it from. Mm-hmm. They're serious about it. We play and joke about a lot of things, but when it comes to Dunbar, those two are very serious.
And see, that's how I feel about One Baltimore, man. You got to be passionate about what we're doing, because none of us getting paid for this, man. Nobody. And if people think that we are, why are we still sending the box around after 14 years? And it takes money to give this thing every year. So when we give it out and we don't have nothing come back in it, and I tell people we won't have another cookout until we have the money. So 1 year, we only had 3 years off, Donnie. 2 for COVID, and 1 year we just didn't do it. I don't think money had, because in the early beginning, we were cooking. So we didn't have a budget of over $2,000. We were cooking, got grills, and went out there to that park and cooked ourselves. Then we started paying people, because it was starting to become a little, tough, because we all up in age, man.
Well, I got to say this on that note. Polly on Friday had a similar get-together.
Yeah, Ralph Lee Jr. Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
And having gone to Polly for 2 years before I went to Dunbar, that started a part of my life. So I got a chance to see those cats. And no, I do events all the time. No, we as a people, we act like we don't know it costs money. But here's the thing. You done started something now. Okay. God damn it, Beyonce got a damn show and people ain't got no limit to what they'll pay. Then you come to your home and you want to get all chinchy. Oh, hold up. You talk about going to Dunbar. They just stopped enslaving black people in 1971. You talk about paying these people $200, $300, $400 to put something else in your head. Mm-hmm. But when it come to our own community, we ain't got no money. You get to church all your damn money, but you can't get no money to Dunbar, to Polly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dunbar, Walbrook.
It's something to think about, man.
I know you can't give a lot, and everybody asking. No, as soon as you graduate from Morgan, they send you a letter in the mail. You promised to give us money. Everybody wants your money, but you can give something, because you shouldn't have to carry the weight for 1,000 other people, especially when we out there at Horseshoe. I'm a bitch out Horseshoe. I didn't mean to. They out Horseshoe dumping money in the machine. Oh, but I ain't got no money for Dunbar. Go on with yourself. Go on.
Yeah, and you know, I think we having a problem with
Lost our damn mind. That's all it is.
coming back to the school. I think a lot of people are caught up on if they contribute or when they have contribute, where did the money go? You know, like I want to say up until that time, I didn't know or didn't see anybody do the all class reunion that rest in peace, Edwin Johnson, you know, back was that 2001 or two, something like that. I didn't see or know of any high schools that done that. I ain't saying that they didn't, but I never heard nobody. That was a
I
great
wasn't
thing.
Edwin's best friend, but that man was as loyal a person to
Oh yeah,
Carl Stokes as you ever met. And he plucked my nerves, but he was 1,000,000% Dunbar. Shout out in heaven to Edwin Johnson. He
and
was serious about Dunbar.
now I've been knowing he knew me as a kid because they was in the 1700 block of Preston Street. That's how long that I've known his family, you know. And he was strictly Dunbar now. Don't get me wrong, you know. And anything that I needed, he had helped me out with because I had to get my my third son down there. You know, he didn't do well, but you know, that's the thing with how you going to have these kids come from the 8th to the 9th and don't give them at least a year of adjustment. They babies coming into with the big boys and the big girls. They're not in middle school, so therefore they need to adjust. Now, in the 10th grade, you don't adjust, then yeah, you got to go to your own school. Now they come up with some stupid stuff called composite school. You on channel 45 every week, every day. Every week, every day, Donnie. Talking about how terrible the schools are. When my oldest son, and I know when you went down there, what was it? You had to have an 80 average, something like that.
I came from Poly.
Huh?
I came from Poly to go to Dunbar, so you know I knew about the grades.
So now you saying you got to have a 610 to get in Dunbar City, Poly, Weston? Come on, man.
Lowered the standards.
Me. Huh?
They've lowered the standards.
Yeah, but how you lowering the standards when you giving a score? Now, my grandson, you know, always, I mean, when he found out and I showed him some things about being a poet, and he'll be 14 next month, a couple of weeks, really. And that's all he said. You know, I want to go to Dunbar. My youngest grandson, he wants to go to Dunbar, and he's just hitting middle school now. So now I got to make sure, and my granddaughter that's under my grandson, because I was raising both of them, I still have him. I have to make sure she understands if you want to get in some of the schools that you name, and I'm hopefully Dunbar will be the final choice, you have to do well this year, and I guess some parts of next year. But you have to do well on your scores, testing or whatever, you know, that if you don't have that, you can't get in them schools. They're not taking you. So it's important that you do well. Don't try to answer every question because you can't. Look at the ones that you know, answer them correct, and that's your score.
Yeah.
You know, people think you got to finish 100 questions, you got to finish 100. No, they judging you on what you done and what you did right. And that's how your score is going to come out in the end to whether you in or out. And I learned that.
Who's your principal?
We start out with, rest in peace, Mr. Blount, Clarence Blount. And then he went down to Annapolis.
Wow. I saw his picture on the wall. Fiddle diddle, no hand in the middle. He had that bald head up there.
Yeah. And we finished up with, and I don't know, because I had his phone number. I talked to him, Mr. Raymond Carpenter. Mr. Carpenter, if he's still living, Donnie, he got to be, if not 100, close to it. And I had his number because we tried to have gotten him to come to, now we did our 50th 2 years ago. It was around our 40th or 30th. I called him up personally to try to have gotten him, but his wife was sick during that time, and get caught up. Next thing you know, it's years later, and you wondering why you didn't return a call.
So I had 1 year with Julia B. Woodland and 1 year with Dr. Elsie Gladden, and both of them had their own styles. But Julia B., if you never had a Baltimore mother your school, Julia B. was that Baltimore mother. She was everybody's auntie all in one. And when she spoke,
she was down there with us. She was down there with us. And, I didn't know that, and rest in peace, the father, Gerald Brown, not the grandson that got killed, Gerald Brown, but the father. Well, we was in a van. I was playing in the post office league, and we used to be the first ones playing and last ones to leave, Donnie. We come to game at 9. We leaving, this getting ready to be dark outside in the cold up Lake Clifton. We out there drinking, and I said something about Miss Woodland. I said something, and he said, "You talking about Julia Woodland?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, that's my sister." I said, "God darn it. Oh boy." I forgot what I said, but it wasn't nice, okay? Can't remember what I said. And he corrected me on the spot. And they found him in his house in December, deceased. Because he had fell and never regained, walking. He was walking on a walker. And man, that one hurts too, because I used to call him Pop, and he used to say myself and another homeboy, these are my adopted post office sons. And he had a young lady he calls adopted daughter. And we, some neighborhood, we getting ready to eat. Once it was on a Saturday. No, yeah, it was on a Saturday. And Aunt died, lady died, called my homeboy. And when he said, "Oh no," I knew it was about Gerald Brown. And
all right. So what's the message? How can people get in touch with you and support One Baltimore? Sign me up.
Oh, you official. You official now. Yeah, you
official.
Soon as you make one event, you're official. You're a member now.
It was legends everywhere, man. It's like a tennis match. It's like, who's that? We need a Venn diagram just to know who all these people were.
Well, sad part, a lot of them still wasn't even there. That normally comes. That was just a pick of the litter.
Shouldn't that thing be made bigger? Shouldn't the city be financing it? What, man? I'm gonna do my part. We're gonna get some money.
Well,
how big you want it?
I want it as big as you can help us make it.
Oh, I'm gonna do my part.
Make it. And if you want to come on board, part of the committee, we open for. We want new ideas. We want new, not just only suggestions, but how do we push it further?
Count me in.
And if you want to do that, when we meet up, I'll call you. Yeah, and you say, well, I'm in or I ain't, or I can help y'all.
And there's a bunch of people who will, I will bring some volunteers with me. That's what we need. We need worker bees.
Yeah. And committed and dedicated to it, because when they tell me, man, you need to calm down, you need to this. See, Donnie, what people don't understand, they saying, are you going to Timmy Greene's cookout? It's not my cookout. It's one Baltimore's cookout. It's all of ours. It's your cookout, Donnie, not my cookout. So being said, it got to go smooth. We can't run out of food. We can't do nothing if people donating, and that falls on me, not on other committee members. Because when things happen, they don't go to them members, they bring it to me. So it has to be right. If it ain't right, we ain't gonna do it.
Well, I saw you emceeing and you did a fine job. I could be.
Oh, that was sad, man. Get out of here. I'm not an MC. That's because
you kept
Derek wouldn't do it. Derek wouldn't do it, and Harry was giving out the rings. That, you know, I could have said more, but
you kept order and was decent. Wasn't long-winded. Boom, boom, boom. And then I met Joe Parker, man. This man, 85 years old, and on the phone, he thanked you for not giving up on him. 20 years.
Yeah, man. We've been trying for years, man. His main man, Greg Wongers, he tried for years. He said, man, if I can't get him, y'all ain't gonna get him. And he was right. You know, we didn't get him.
You pulled him, though. You did.
Well, I had help, trust and believe, because, you know, he needs to hear this. He needs to see this. He needs to see this, man, of the love that people have for him.
Ignoring this since he was 65. Now he's 85, and he welcomed it.
And see, this is what these young guys, they don't see. They don't see that we as older guys, I call us young old dudes now, that we still, it's still a little animosity there between the sections of the city, but to me, it's more on the other side, not on the east side. Now, I'm going to be real about that, because no one has ever said, well, I want them West Baltimore guys come over east. Nobody has ever said that over here. But I've heard, and it was told to me, that people, I ain't going, man, that's Dunbar, East Baltimore. Then when they come and see.
Those are people who never been nowhere. Because there are parts of East Baltimore, parts of what, Baltimore, man. And anybody get that stuck, that shows that they ain't never been no damn where.
Then when they come and see that ain't what they thought it was.
They feel like Bobo the Clown.
You know, and then I had to
cook out Saturday, all the love. It was love, man. It was like heaven. It was like being in heaven. It was just giants everywhere.
Yeah. And just the thing, a lot of people still didn't come, man.
That's what you
A lot of people that I invited, man, didn't come. But guess what? Who was there was supposed to have been there.
Well, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad
you did too,
Hugh
bro.
Smith. Have you met Hugh Smith?
Have I?
Well, he's got a similar spirit as you. And he don't play that division. Greg Branch.
You know, that was his first time, Donnie.
I was there. I saw him. He was like, he was blown away.
And I invite him every year. I invite you every year.
Well, we made it, and we ain't gonna miss no more.
Yeah, well, I pray that, you know, it keeps going. Again, we trying to pass it down to the coaches and them guys, because them guys know of them. They don't know of me. They don't know of a Chew. They don't know of a Donnie Glover. Come on, man. They don't know. So when you bring them out there, they can hear history. They can sit at a table and learn so much that when they go to the barbershop, again, don't know shit from shampoo. You take them to the barbershop, they want to tell you all the history about Baltimore basketball. Oh, it started with Muggsy and them. See, that's another part of talking to the youth today. Know your history, man. Not just sports.
Joe Parker, long before Muggs and I were born.
Come on, man.
85.
And not just sports. Just know your history. Know your history. So therefore, when you have conversations that you passing down to your little loved one or someone else who don't know, but sitting up there running their mouth and don't know half the story. So I pray that one day that it'll change before you and I close our eyes, that these young guys and girls can understand we can live life together. We already got Mr. Charlie and Mr. Bobo already on us. And then we filling the fire with ourselves, doing dumb stuff. Come on, man. You taking stuff that you didn't pay for. You burning up stuff that's not even yours, breaking windows that's not yours. But then you wonder why they look at us the way that they do. Then on top of that, you talking about let's march. Oh, he didn't have to do that. When the police put hot ones in you, they scared. You leave them no choice. But yet you want to say the white man. No, it's you, Mr. Black man and black lady. Black kid. Kids out here. Come on, man. It's a curfew. And that crap that I don't even want, that's another, I ain't going into that. But
Timmy Greene, Dunbar poet, legend.
Class of 73.
Class of 73. How can people donate, get in touch with you? What's the contact information?
We still haven't gotten up a website yet. I'm going to work on it because, some things that we could be putting out there, people can see right now, and they're still just contacting me. My contact number is open to any and every. 410-303-0237 until we get a website.
All right, well, let's see if we can get you a website. I know some people can help with that.
I'm open. All I need is a little help in direction. That's all.
All right, count on me. Timmy Greene, thank you for joining us, man. To
Thank
God
you,
be the glory. One Baltimore. Great job, big brother. Thank you for being my new best friend. You ain't gonna get rid of me.
Hey, I ain't trying to, bro. Remember, this is for life. You're poor for life, and you want Baltimore forever, man. Thank you, Donnie.
Have a beautiful day. Good morning, world.